Hey guys, welcome to the Meditation Amsterdam channel. In today's video, we're going to be doing another little installment of the book In Search of the Miraculous by P.D. Ouspensky. The book is about the teachings of Gurdjeff, who was a spiritual teacher in Russia at the start of the 20th century. And in this video, we're going to be talking about the subject of the buffers that we build around our life. Before I carry on with this video, if you haven't subscribed already, do click on the subscribe button and click the like on the video because it's really cool and motivates me to create a little bit more content. And without further ado, I'm going to read a couple of quotes about this topic of buffers and the take that Gurdjeff has on the whole subject. So Gurdjeff says, "There stand behind you many years of a wrong and stupid life, of indulgence in every kind of weakness, of shutting your eyes to your own errors, of striving to avoid all unpleasant truths, of constantly lying to yourselves, of self-justification, of blaming others, and so on and so on." So here Gurdjieff is talking to a group of people who are followers of him, and he's trying to raise their consciousness to the fact that, as I've mentioned in previous videos, they are fundamentally asleep. Their consciousness has hypnotized them. That they are have a multiplicity of selves within that are struggling with one another, and that it will take long and arduous work to get to self-mastery and self-realization. And so, so here he, this is, when I do bookmarks on a book, so I typically underline stuff. I make notes, I underline things or whatever. This kind of little arrow means even more important, but sometimes I do a little bookmark at the bottom of the page, and this was to me one of the most striking passages because it's just devastating to take account of one's ineptitude and just how inane and stupid one can be when self-realization and looking in the mirror hasn't really started yet is very, very painful. So he's bringing that to the consciousness of the people that he's talking to. But then he says, all this cannot help affecting the machine, as in the human mind-body system. The machine is dirty. In places it is rusty, and in some places artificial appliances have been formed, the necessity for which has been created by its own wrong way of working. So here he introduces this idea that if we look at the mind-body machine from a mechanistic perspective, the fact that we have been operating in a way that is divorced from reality creates the need for these devices, these artificial ways of acting and thinking. They are a result of the poor operation of the mind and body. And so he says, these artificial appliances will now interfere very much with all your good intentions. In other words, they are kinks in the system that get in the way of everything we do. They are called buffers. Buffer is a term which requires special explanation. We know what buffers on railway carriages are. They are the contrivances which lessen the shock. And then he says, we fail to see how contradictory and hostile the different eyes of our personality are to one another. If a man were to feel all these contradictions, he would feel what he really is. He would feel that he is mad. It is not pleasant to anyone to feel that he is mad. Moreover, a thought such as this deprives a man of self-confidence, weakens his energy, deprives him of self-respect. A man is surrounded by people who live, speak, think, and feel by means of buffers. Buffers are created slowly and gradually. Very many buffers are created artificially through educations. Others are created under the hypnotic influence of all surrounding life. Imitating other people in their opinions, actions, and words, a man involuntarily creates similar buffers in himself. Buffers make a man's life more easy. It's very hard to live without buffers, but they keep man from the possibility of inner development because buffers are made to lessen shocks. And it is only shocks that can lead a man out of the state in which he lives. That is to wake him up. Buffers lull a man to sleep. He then carries on saying that, we have all these hidden motives and dark and unexplored areas to ourselves and fragmented, conflicting areas to ourselves, and that to feel all of this together would be not just painful but completely unbearable. Right? So then to close off this whole topic on buffers, he also says something very interesting. He says that it would be indeed unbearable to feel all of this at the same time. So he says this would be the state which is called conscience. Now, a man cannot live in this state because of all the pain, right? He must either destroy contradictions, inner contradictions, or destroy conscience. He cannot destroy conscience, but if he cannot destroy it, he can put it to sleep. That is, he can separate by impenetrable barriers one feeling of self from another, never seeing them together, never feeling their incompatibility, the absurdity of one's existing alongside another. So, as I said in some previous videos, Gurdjeff is really a straight talker. He doesn't believe that spiritual awakening is for everybody, or even that spiritual work is for everybody. He doesn't believe that everybody is meant to awaken. He doesn't think it's easy. He thinks it requires quite a lot of work, and he warns about how unpleasant that work will be. In these quotes about buffers, he alerts us to the fact that we are on a constant state of avoidance, on a constant state of departure from what's actually happening. You can notice this in your own life. If you think that you are not an avoidant, just look at how much time you spend thinking away from the present moment. That is avoidance. So we are completely addicted to thought. We are completely addicted to activity. We are addicted to social activity, let alone social media and those kind of things. Some of us are addicted to work. We can be addicted to food or socializing, sex, entertainment, you name it. We have all these kind of addictions. According to Ouspensky, the biggest addiction is to lie to ourselves. And the biggest lie that we have is that we have actual agency and that we have individuality, that we have a separate individuality that has agency and free will. That's the biggest lie, and it's our biggest addiction. And it's our biggest buffer against a reality that is single and all-encompassing and touching us at every instance. But we can't stand it because of the internal fragmentation that we carry. So part of the work of self-development or self-realization is the systematic removal of buffers to be faced with that instant reality that feels very painful and very alarming to the ego at first. To sit and meditate, to sit and do nothing and observe our thoughts is an incredibly confronting experience. It takes a lot of discipline and a lot of courage to do that. And that is precisely what we're doing. We sit, we remove distractions, we remove the buffers, and we expose ourselves to bare reality, which at first for many people is almost intolerable. And we do that in order to begin to bring to the surface these buffers and eventually be able to feel reality directly without the need for buffers standing in between. So so that is Gurdjieff on buffers, and I'll be back with more. Cheers.